What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing pretty much another kind of like everyday inspired makeup look, but this entire routine is going to be using affordable products, and not just the makeup products. I'm starting all the way at the beginning with my skincare. I have some amazing affordable skincare here that I'm obsessed with, which I'll be sharing with you guys. We're going to be using a lot of my favorite products, but also trying out a new foundation, which I'm very excited about. I always love trying new foundations, and I'm hoping that it's going to work out, but it really sounds like it's up my alley, so fingers crossed. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off first with skincare, this portion of the video is in partnership with INKEY, one of my new favorite skincare brands. I'm so excited to be partnering up with them again. I have really become such a huge fan of their products, and a lot of them have become huge staples in my routine, specifically the apple cider vinegar mask. I've spoken about it a million times, but it's one of my favorite masks to help with texture. It's absolutely incredible, and they wanted to partner up to talk about two of their new products, one of them being the Fulvic Acid Brightening Cleanser, which you guys have probably already heard me talk about this because I've already mentioned it in a couple of videos because I've already fallen in love with it. Then I also have the new Symbright Moisturizer. So this cleanser is the Fulvic Acid Brightening Cleanser, and what makes it really cool is that it has fulvic acid in it, which is obviously like the key star ingredient. Fulvic acid is going to really help in detexturizing your skin and in reducing the texture and kind of like reducing any buildup of dry skin. It's going to make your skin appear brighter. There's also licorice root extract and aloe vera, and both those ingredients are going to help to kind of like soothe the skin as well. So this is definitely safe for sensitive skin. I personally have really sensitive skin, and I have not experienced any type of bad reaction to it. This has pretty much been my staple in my morning routine. This has been my go-to cleanser, and I absolutely love it. It really does make my skin feel really nice and fresh. So I did already wash my face. We're good to go. Now it's time to put on the moisturizer. For the moisturizer, I'm going to be using the Symbright moisturizer. So the main ingredient in this moisturizer is Symbright, which is an extract that's derived from clary sage, and it's going to help to improve, again, texture and dullness and to brighten up the skin. What's also really nice about this moisturizer is there's a very, very, very subtle pearlescent glow to it. And so it works so nicely for underneath your makeup. And you guys know I typically just go in with a moisturizer as my makeup base before going in with my foundation, and just having that little bit of extra glow in the moisturizer is a really nice added touch. What I also find to be really nice about the INKEY list is that they make their products to be super approachable, and especially if you're not a skincare expert, they just make it really easy to understand what you're using and why you're using it. On the bottles themselves, they literally tell you exactly what step you should insert them into your routine, which is, I find, to be really, really helpful. And if you're looking to get more of like a customized list of skincare products that would be recommended for your specific skin type, INKEY list does have kind of like a skincare routine builder on their website, so I'll link that down below for you guys to check out. All right, skin is prepped. Let's move on now to foundation. The foundation, I'm a little bit nervous because, like I said, this is a brand new foundation that I pretty much just got, and I don't know how it's going to look. I was initially going to use my Milani Screen Queen, which is probably my favorite foundation at the drugstore at the moment. It's just so good. It's really comparable to a lot of my favorite high-end foundations, but then I saw this guy and I was like, you know what, this looks kind of interesting. It's the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. There's hyaluronic acid and aloe vera in here, and it's supposed to be a long-wear formula with natural coverage with a weightless feel. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what I want to hear, so I'm excited to try it out. And for this entire routine, I am also going to be using only affordable tools, so I'm going to be using this sponge over here, which is also from Essence. So this shade that I'm using is 050 Neutral Champagne, which actually is the perfect match. That's another reason why I wanted to use it today, because I was like, wow, a good foundation match always just makes things so much better. So I'm gonna go in with the butt of this little sponge, and let's just start to apply. Wow, this match is incredible. Foundation sponges are always great because they always give the skin a little bit more of a natural finish. And that's kind of what I'm going for today. I don't want anything too crazy heavy or too like full on. We are going for more like a fresh everyday look, but I still do want some coverage, you know? So here's a nice little close up of the skin. I feel like it's actually looking really nice. So far, so good. For my concealer, I'm going to go in with one of my favorites. This is the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. This stuff is so underrated. I feel like nobody talks about this, but it's probably one of my favorite concealers from the drugstore. It just has like the most beautiful glow to it, and it looks very, very fresh on the skin. This shade that I have here is Natural. I'm worried it may be a little bit dark for me right now because I'm very pale at the moment, but no, I think it could work. It's a little bit yellow, but it's okay. So I'm just putting it underneath the eyes and blending it out with the same sponge. It has pretty good coverage too. And I just love the glow that it gives the skin. So for my brows, I'm going to be using the Pixie Natural Brow Duo. There's two products in here. You have the pencil, and then you also have the gel. Now I'm going in with just the gel today because I want my brows to look groomed, but I don't necessarily want to fill them in because, like I said, I do want this look to be kind of more on like the minimal side, and this brow gel is like super glue. Like when I say this glues your brows down, I mean it. It makes them like stiff. It's kind of wild. So if you want something that is really good to keep your brows in place, this is it. So I'm gonna just take the gel and run it through my brows. I'm just kind of flicking all of the hairs upwards because I want to give them a little bit of like a fluffy look. And because it's such a strong brow gel, I find it gives the brows a really like separated look. Like you could almost see each individual hair, which just makes it look really, really, really fluffy. I almost feel like it gives a similar vibe to like soap brows. Look at my brows. You can count the hairs. Okay, I'm gonna jump back to the base and I'm going to go in, of course, are you even surprised, with my Quo bronzing powder and Cool Contour. I've been raving about this stuff nonstop. It is such an amazing, smooth, buttery, gorgeous bronzer, and the color of this is just so perfect for my skin tone. The one thing that I hate about this bronzer though is the packaging. It's kind of like this tin packaging, so you have to open it in such an awkward way, and I almost always feel like I'm gonna break a nail doing it. It's very annoying. So for my bronzer brush, I'm gonna be going in with this ColourPop F28. It's a really nice big fluffy brush. Pick up some of the product and bronze up the skin. I really feel like this is one of those powders that will just always look so good no matter how you apply it. Like I just applied it so haphazardly, but I feel like it looks great. Like it doesn't even really look like I'm wearing bronzer. My skin just kind of looks bronze, which is always what I'm looking for when it comes to a bronzing product. So that's that. Now let's move on to blush. I'm so excited about this one because this is the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon. I recently spoke about a certain type of blush color that I really, really love, and it's kind of this like warm, almost bronzer-like blush color. And I really like these types of shades because I find it does a really beautiful job of warming up the cheeks, which is what a blush is supposed to do, but it also sculpts the cheeks at the same time because it is somewhat close to a bronzer shade. And I had mentioned the Merit Blush in Terracotta and also the Patrick Ta blush, which I have right here in She's So LA. This guy. It's one of my favorites. So this Cinnamon blush from Flower Beauty is pretty much the exact same type of color, but of course from a more affordable brand. So I'm gonna just put some on the back of my hand. Okay, I'm gonna swatch it for you guys just so you can see what it looks like full on. There it is. It's so pretty. It has so much warmth to it. It really does remind me of cinnamon. It's a great name for this blush. I'm just gonna take a little bit with my finger and just start to build it up slowly. I also really like these types of shades because it just goes with really whatever like eye look or lip look you want for the day. Okay, the last thing that I want to do for my base is actually put on some freckles. I don't normally ever really do this, but I thought it could be cute, and I have this ColourPop freckle pen here in the shade Dark Brown, and I thought it'd be fun just to kind of play around. I do have natural freckles. They tend to only really appear mostly in the summertime. I get a lot like near my nose, so let's just, you know, get freckly today. The key with freckles is to really not think so much about it because obviously natural freckles don't have any rhyme or reason to them, so you really don't want to like overthink it and make too much of a pattern with the freckles. Otherwise, they will look very unnatural. I also thought this would be a perfect way to kind of camouflage the zits that I have because it's very difficult to hide texture, especially if you have any type of like raised bump, you are still going to see it even if you get rid of the actual color of the pimple or whatever it is. So I might as well make it look like a freckle, no? So for my eyes, I'm going to go with something very simple. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Oil Shadow in the shade Extra. It's basically just like this really, really light champagne gold, and it looks really pretty on the lid on its own, kind of applied in a more of like a sparse, lightweight way, because it just gives a really pretty glossy look to the lid. So I'm picking it up with my finger, don't even need a brush with this, and I'm even tapping off the excess because it's a pretty intense shade. And I'm just putting this mainly in the center of my lid, and then taking a clean finger just to kind of diffuse the edge on either side. So I want my entire lid to be sparkly, but I want the majority of the shimmer to be in the center to really make my eyes just look really wide and awake. Like, look at how much that just kind of brightens up the eye. You can really notice a difference between the eye that doesn't have anything and the eye that does. So for my mascara, I'm gonna go in with an old favorite of mine. It's the Bambi Eye Mascara, and I like to use the shade, doesn't say it on here, but it is like the dark brown shade. I love a good dark brown mascara, especially for every day, and especially when I have a really minimal eye look on, because it just creates way more of a softer appearance to the eye. And this mascara is beautiful. It really does make your lashes look super feathery. I'm gonna apply a nice amount to my upper lashes. I'm even gonna put a little bit on my lower lashes, just a touch. The brown is going to keep them looking nice and soft too, but I do feel like that really does open up the eyes. I actually almost forgot to put on highlighter, so I'm going to use this Physicians Formula Dewy highlighter, and it's very pretty. It's a nice cream highlight. So I don't want to put this directly onto my face from the stick. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, pick it up with a finger, and just pinpoint it where I want it, because this is like kind of more of a metallic cream highlight, and I find that when I go in with this directly from the stick, it creates like a metallic stripe, but if I go in with my finger, it gives me the glossy glow that I'm looking for. For the lips, my natural reaction was to go with a lifter gloss. For Maybelline, you guys know I'm obsessed with these. I have every single one, and they have become probably like my current favorite glosses. My second reaction was to go with the Revlon Sparkling Honey lipstick, because that's another one of my favorites from the drugstore, and I also wear that one all the time. But I wanted to change it up a little bit for you guys and keep you on your toes. So instead, I'm going to throw it back super old school, and we are going to be using a NYX Butter Gloss. I don't even remember the last time I put on a butter gloss. These were the shit back in the day. Like, everybody was obsessed with these, and honestly for good reason. These glosses are beautiful. The texture is really, really smooth and buttery, as the name kind of suggests. And it's really just a great gloss. This shade is Madeline. It's a really nice medium tone nude, so let's pop it on. Honestly, you can't go wrong. This is such a good color. All right, guys, this is the finished look. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Very pleasantly surprised with this foundation. I actually think it looks really great on the skin. I obviously have to wear it for an extended period of time to give you guys like a solid review, but I'll likely circle back in a future video and let you know my final thoughts on it. But really, so far so good. I really like how it's just sitting on the skin. It looks great. So I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this entire routine. Don't forget to let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know some of your current favorite everyday staples from the drugstore. I'd love to get some of your recommendations. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.